Potatoes, all varieties, $3.99 for a 5-pound bag. Fresh ground beef, all size packages, just $2.99 per pound, saving $1. Hot price old-time split-top wheat bread, only $3.99 for a 22-ounce loaf. Select varieties of Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, just $9.99 for a 75-ounce bottle. Huggies pull-ups, all sizes for boys and girls, only $14.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, February 13th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. Commuters into Hamilton this morning were caught off guard by hate speech painted on 2 North Shore businesses. The vandal appears to have hand-painted politically motivated and racially charged comments on the Empire Grocery and North Shore Medical Center buildings early this morning. Police say the suspect is still at large. It was an unsightly view for business owners opening their doors to customers this morning. The damage was reported at 6:30 a.m. to police by the owner of Empire Grocery. The offensive language aimed at black women, homosexuals, Portuguese, Filipino, and opposition MP Michael Dunkley.
Obviously, the person needs some help. If you want to under the cloak of darkness, if you want to write on somebody's business for all to see, it's very disturbing. You know, we live in tough times now, but it doesn't mean that we have to hate each other for our opinions, or we have to target various groups within our community.
A wall belonging to North Shore Medical was also willfully damaged by the vandal. It's understood the crime may have taken place between 5 and 6 a.m. this morning. Neither business owner wanted to comment, but police were on the scene to give reassurance to staff members. Inquiries regarding this incident are ongoing, and police say they may know the suspect.
The racist, homophobic, and xenophobic comments are sad and disgusting. We're very clear that the writing, the grammar, it's consistent with things that we've actually seen before. Now, the challenge is finding the person who's done it. And if I can be very frank, we have an idea of who the person is. And if it is who we think it is, we recognize there's some mental health challenges.
The cleanup efforts were well underway by late morning in order to cover up the offensive remarks. Public Works Minister Colonel David Birch expressed particular annoyance at this incident, as it appears to have happened before.
I mean, it really is tiresome. I mean, I think that people are entitled to freedom of speech, but not the sort of vitriol that we've seen written on places around the country. I think it's only a matter of time before they get caught. It's the same person, you can tell by the handwriting. Clearly, they take a considerable amount of time to do this. Someone must see it, and so I would ask that they speak up. I'm almost inclined, everybody's advised me I shouldn't, but I'm almost inclined to put a bounty on their head. Everybody's entitled to their own feelings, but certainly some of what was written today is criminal. And so you can express criminal opinions and what have you, but then you must also expect and anticipate that you'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Area MP Walter Raban similarly outraged by the behavior of the culprit and stated, quote, "The owners, workers, and patrons of these establishments deserve respect." A resident from the area has had her car vandalized twice before within 3 months, forcing her to pay almost $3,000 in repairs. That resident reportedly identified to police the person believed to be responsible, but we've been told so far no action has been taken. Any witnesses or members of the public with relevant information are encouraged to call the main police telephone number at 295-0011 at the earliest opportunity. $250,000. That was the total payout to individuals injured in the pepper spray incident during the December 2nd, 2016 protests. The amount revealed today in an exclusive interview which Gary Moreno had with Wayne Keynes, the Minister of National Security.
Gary, let me say this. I'm not going to hide. This will be done in the public sphere. The number, there was $250,000 that was paid out.
And as to just how that figure was disbursed,
I cannot go into specifics on how many people, on specifics as to what people received because of the non-disclosure agreement.
That notwithstanding, the minister maintained the decision to financially compensate the victims to the amount that they were was in the best interest of the public purse, particularly since the 27 complainants were considering seeking a judicial review of their matters.
The essence of their application was that the Police Complaints Authority did not consider each complaint by itself. In other words, they lumped it together and they made a decision. They were going to take out a judicial review in the Supreme Court to challenge the decisions of the PCA and ask that each of them be able to come back and tell their stories one by one.
The evidence to support their claims would apparently have been substantial.
There was a report by the National Police Coordinator Center by Assistant Chief Constable Chris Shaheed, and he wrote a report that the report was commissioned by the governor and it was disseminated to all. In that report, it outlined what we counted and what was asserted as 26 command failings. The 27 applicants who were challenging the Police Complaints Authority, it was their plan to highlight these failings and make that the bulwark of their submissions in court.
And the cost of a judicial review, along with the civil action to follow, Mr. Keynes describes as prohibitive.
Police Complaints Authority is appointed by His Excellency the Governor. Our ministry would have had to pay for a lawyer for the Police Complaints Authority. And then this body wanted to bring individual police officers in front of the judicial review, and if there was a judicial review, to bring individual officers to give evidence in this matter. Each one of the police officers, they would have had to have counsel as well. Now, when we start to look at this from a financial perspective, we believe that the cost would have been exceedingly high, if not insurmountable, for this particular matter.
A long drawn-out legal situation and the attendant social impact it could have, Minister Keynes noted, would not have been healthy for the country. We reminded what may have been more helpful, though, given all the speculation, would have been for government to simply make a statement and not to act only after we broke the story that compensation had been paid.
It was always going to be announced. At the end of the day, we recently signed this, and the ministerial statement will still come out on Friday. There was going to be a ministerial statement. The ministerial statement will come out on Friday. Again, people in Bermuda, when they go to the press, we don't control that. We had a timetable that we were going to release to the public, and the time for the release, as you know, the House is not in until this coming Friday. A big thing that we wanted to do was, through a ministerial statement, make a formal declaration on Friday in the House of Assembly.
Elsewhere, the minister took opposition MP Michael Dunkley to task for his criticism of the decision to make the out-of-court financial settlement, a decision which the minister indicated took almost a year to arrive at. Mr. Dunkley was also critical of government not making a public announcement on the payment earlier.
I agree. The government of Bermuda will be open. We will be transparent with reference to this matter. But I find it laughable that the member, Mr. Dunkley, will talk about openness and transparency when this is the very essence of why the actual protests began in the first place.
Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary. And following this story, we received an advisory from the government a short time ago that the correct sum is $225,000. Well, a pregnant woman and a 7-year-old boy involved in a collision with a police car have been treated and discharged from hospital. Police say the collision occurred on St. David's Road around 7:45 this morning when the 34-year-old St. George's woman and her pillion passenger were injured in a crash with a female police officer driving a police vehicle. That driver was not injured. Inquiries continue regarding the circumstances of this collision, and witnesses are encouraged to call the main police telephone number 295-0011 at the earliest opportunity. Stay with us. We'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news.
We provide education, early detection, radiation treatment, and support for cancer to all.
We provide in-home care, financial assistance, and emotional support to cancer patients and their families.
We provide financial support and enhanced quality of life for patients and their families in hospice care.
We will
We will.
We will.
Save $1.30 on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only $1.59 per pound. Fresh blueberries, 1 pint, just $3.99, saving you $3. Hellman's mayonnaise, hot price, just $5.99 for a 30-ounce jar. General Mills Cheerios cereal, only $5.49 for a 12-ounce box. Save $2.66 on Ocean Spray cranberry juice, only $4.99 for a 64-ounce bottle. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Thanks for staying with us. The Minister of the Cabinet Office responsible for statistics, Walton Brown, has strongly denied claims from the opposition that Bermuda's economy is in a recession. At a press conference today, the minister said third quarter 2018 GDP increased year over year by 1.6% or $1.1 billion.
At a press conference, the minister said the third quarter 2018 quarterly gross domestic product, GDP, increased year over year to 1.6% or $1.1 billion.
Employment for Bermudians in the hospitality industry is up. Second quarter GDP is up. Third quarter GDP is up. Government consumption is down. GDP has gone up while government consumption has gone down. There's been a narrative being pushed by the opposition that Bermuda is in a recession. The facts simply do not speak to that. Despite the narrative that the opposition wants to peddle and sell, these numbers expose the narrative for what it is, false. Over the past several months, we have seen signs of economic progress demonstrating that our efforts at efficient fiscal management is having a beneficial impact. Bermuda's 2018 second quarter gross domestic product increased 0.8%, a strengthening of the economy that is especially noteworthy when compared with the second quarter 2017 when Bermuda hosted the America's Cup. During the third quarter of 2018, quarterly gross domestic product increased by 1.6%, estimated at $1.1 billion. Government consumption decreased 3.7% during the third quarter.
Unemployment is at 7%. Meantime, Minister Brown countered opposition leader Craig Kennenier's remarks that government needs to stimulate the economy.
This government has made a determined effort to stimulate our economy by attracting foreign investment through targeted investment strategies and diversification of business development initiatives.
The minister added that since becoming the government in July 2017, they have focused their efforts on growing the economy by implementing policies designed to create employment opportunities.
We have embraced emerging technologies such as fintech and insurtech, which have seen 66 new companies form in Bermuda, with Bermudians being hired by these startup companies.
We asked Minister Brown how many have been hired by fintech companies.
Well, we don't know the precise number, but we know the jobs have been created because the companies are forming, they're establishing offices, and they're hiring people.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meanwhile, Shadow Minister of Finance Nick Kemp responded to the minister's comments on GDP by saying, quote, despite enthusiasm, his election campaign-style press conference does not answer any questions. In fact, he says there are now additional questions.
The economy showed a very moderate GDP increase in Q3 2018. His own numbers show that that was driven mainly by $60 million in gross capital formation, which is due to the airport and the hotels that were both OBA stimuli projects. Why haven't there been any retail sales reports released since November? Why does he insist on denigrating the OBA stimuli? Why can he not detail the number of fintech jobs that are claimed to have been created? Why can't he point to what exactly the PLP strategies are to target investment and what investments have come to fruition since the government change in July 2017?
Weather now, and let's go to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and it's been a pretty nice day, at least so far. Things are going to be changing, though, as we do have a cold front approaching, and you can actually see the precipitation that's starting to work its way toward the island here. And as the cold front has been draped off to our west, there has been some lightning embedded within that. So we'll have to watch out for some heavy rain, also some gusty winds as we head into the overnight hours here. A different perspective for you. You can see that plume of moisture, again, just off to our west. So hopefully you enjoyed today with temperatures getting into the low 70s. We're still on the mild side right now with temperatures sitting in the upper 60s across the island here. Winds are coming in out of the southwest anywhere from 18 to 22 knots, so it is a bit breezy outside. The water temperature is currently 68 degrees, and if you do have plans on heading out toward the water, maybe you're taking a charter, doing some fishing over the next couple of days, we are going to have some choppy conditions, especially outside of the reef right now. Waves are running between 5 and 8 feet, so heads up if that's the direction you're going to be heading. We have our upcoming tide times here for you. We have our low tide coming in at 8:33 this evening, and then high tide coming in tomorrow morning at 3:07 a.m. And we do have some weather alerts that we want to tell you about. There is a small craft warning that continues through Thursday morning, and then once we get into Thursday night through Friday afternoon, we have yet another small craft warning that will go into effect as we do have a storm system that's essentially going to be moving its way on up toward the island here. So next couple of days, a little unsettled. The weekend, though, not looking too bad at this point. Overnight tonight, a low of 65 degrees. It will be breezy at times with rain moving through the area, and we'll keep that rain in the forecast at least into tomorrow with the showers most numerous during the morning. But it is going to be a wet and cloudy day, 67 for your high temperature. And here's a look at our futurecast, just kind of putting this into motion for you, if you will. You can see by Thursday morning, 9 a.m., still some rain impacting the island, and then eventually this frontal boundary will continue to move its way on east. But as I mentioned earlier, we'll have yet another storm system traveling right into our area, so that'll give us another round of moisture as we head right into Friday. So again, it's a bit unsettled, at least for right now. Not so unsettled as we check out our friends here in Jamaica. Clouds and sunshine, 84 degrees. Barbados also looking very nice. Trinidad, got a couple of showers around, but by no means is it a washout, at least at this point. If you're doing any traveling out toward the East Coast, New York City, 43 clouds and sun, a seasonable day. As we take you into tomorrow, we will have that wet weather around here across the island. Thursday, also into Friday with choppy conditions and windy conditions, especially out on the water, and then improvements just in time for the weekend.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition, and as I came down the water slide I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool, and I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
Riding a motorcycle is it's a feeling that nobody ever can imagine. You never lose that, and you always want that feeling again. When you get to an intersection is where the most times you're going to have an accident. The guy did not signal. I presumed he was going straight. And lo and behold, next thing I know, I was all the way up in the air. And the ambulance came. They took me right into New York Presbyterian. And my personal doctor said, Tom, you were in a horrific, horrific accident. You know, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to expect. The next day, the plastic surgeon came walking in. She said, I have an idea. And she got together with the orthopedist, and they made a plan. I remember coming out of anesthesia. I had the courage to look down, and I saw my little toes. It worked. It worked. It worked.
At the Bermuda Festival, there's something for everyone in 2019. From international acts, the Manhattan Transfer and Shaka Khan, to Bermudians Heather Nova and Rebecca Falkenberry. Our plays include A Midsummer Night's Dream, Masterclass, and Nina Simone for Women. There's music for all, jazz, rock, classical, and even a cappella. And with modern dance and family entertainment, the list is complete. For tickets, visit ptix or bermudafestival.org. Celebrating the empowerment of women. She is art.
Turning to sport now, and the FA Challenge Cup match that was due to be played this evening has been postponed until further notice. Daniel Augustus wins a professional tournament in Florida, and 12 Warwick Academy swimmers set to compete in U.S. swimming and diving championships. Earl Basin has the details of these stories and more in tonight's Sports Report.
Former St. David's Cricket Club president and a current player, Otis Miners, confirmed reports that St. David's had announced they will not show up for their FA Challenge Cup match, which was scheduled for tonight at 7 p.m. at the National Sports Centre against Southampton Rangers. He explains the reason why.
First of all, we came to this decision because we felt it was unjust of them to listen to the appeal that Rangers submitted because the situation has happened before, and I believe Dandytown also appealed on this situation and was denied. So now we're being penalized for something that we didn't do.
Later in the day, the Bermuda Football Association's Competitions Committee released a statement that the match will be postponed until further notice. The rest of the FA Challenge Cup quarterfinal matches will take place as scheduled. Daniel Augustus put together a remarkable second round, 7 under par 65 during the Orange County Open at the Orange County National Golf Club in Florida. Augustus did not have the best start in his second round as he had a bogey on the first hole, but an eagle on the par 5 second put him at 1 under par. He would then play even par for the remainder of the front 9 to make the turn at 1 under. The back 9 is where Augustus would shine with 6 birdies out of 9 holes. Augustus would win the tournament, his third international win of his career. 12 Warwick Academy swimmers will begin competing in the 2019 Eastern Interscholastic Swimming and Diving Championships. Coach Ben Smith says it's time for these athletes to shine.
Last year we were able to produce with Jesse Washington winning his event, which we see what that turned into, him getting the opportunity to get a Division I scholarship and to be able to produce, and that is the goal. And because of that, I know all of them are quite excited to get the opportunity to shine the way Jesse was last year.
Nicky Wells and his Queen's Park Rangers teammates suffered an agonizing 2-1 defeat at Bristol City last evening with a crucial injury time penalty scored. Jonte Smith was on the mark as Oxford United's under-23 side put in a fine performance to defeat Hull City 3-0 at the Thame United's ASM Stadium. Smith scored the first goal of the game from the penalty spot on the stroke of half-time. It was his second goal in as many games for the Oxford team. Robert Edwards and Shaquille Deal represented St. Augustine University on the first day of the CIAA Indoor Track and Field Championships. Edwards was part of the St. Augustine's 4,000-meter distance medley relay team that finished second. Deal won Heat 1 of the men's mile run and 9th overall with a time of 4:50.71, while Edwards finished third in Heat 1 and 11th overall, clocking 4:53.60. Deal was clocked in a time of 2:01.07 in the men's 800-meter preliminaries. 5 Bermuda student athletes represented Thomas College Track and Field, men's and women's team at the Colby College at an indoor track meet. Jan Sutton was part of the Thomas College men's team that won the division, while Jonna James, Jayla Samuels, Cindy Todd, and Tesne Fubler competed in the women's team that finished second. After bringing you the Bermuda Netball Association's youth results and roundup, as well as the makeup senior results, today we bring you the current standings and leading goal scorers for each division. There's a 2-way tie in the Digicel under 12, Digicel under 16, and the senior leagues. The Phoenix Sparks and North Village Lady Rams Red both have 10 points, leading the Digicel under 12 division, with Josiah Peets Brimmer from the North Village Lady Rams Red leading the goal scoring department with 22 goals. In In the Digicel Under-16 division, Amaya Butterfield from the Storm Lightning is the leading goal scorer with 127 goals, as the Storm Lightning and Phoenix Fire are both level at the top of the table with 18 points each. In the Senior League, the Phoenix Heat and Lyndhurst Tigers are level on points at the top of the table with both having 23 points. Danielle Rayner from the Phoenix Heat is the league leading goal scorer with 257 goals.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
It's time to get back down to business. In the first season of The Breakdown, we helped you understand Bermuda's impact on the world.
The world's risk capital.
This could be where the job is.
75% in Bermuda. And the world's impact on Bermuda.
It was like a trickle effect from the U.S.
We lost 17% of our labor force.
We tackled emerging technologies.
Digital currency brings a lot of efficiency.
Blockchains are blocks of information.
Examined key concerns.
Is this all about climate change?
8,500 people are diabetic based on the STEP survey.
And connected the community to the issues impacting their future.
I think it would be a positive for the island.
It's just a matter of economics.
And now we're back to do it again.
Join me, Tony Waterman, for a brand new season of The Breakdown starting Thursday, February 21st at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV9.
And last but not least tonight, government today attempted to demonstrate what it continues to work on the problems with the public education system. The Education Minister, Diallo Rebane, held a news conference today to highlight some areas where he believed the ministry was making progress. One big area it wants to improve in is in information technology capabilities at schools. Tarai Trott reports.
If Education Minister Diallo Rebane was trying to send out a message, it was that his ministry has not forgotten the problems plaguing public education.
Let me start by saying that since taking office, the government has endeavored to improve access to technology in our public schools. During the month of July, the IT section of the Department of Education conducted a comprehensive IT audit of all 18 primary schools and assessed the network, bandwidth, and usage in each school for potential upgrading.
Technical officers of the IT team visited primary schools to assess the current state of IT functionality within each school. This entailed ensuring the existing technology at each school was working as expected, and any equipment not working or having issues were marked for repairs.
During the audit undertaking, these primary schools with higher counts of issues were Port Royal, Victor Scott, and Francis Patton. These issues comprised of aging, multifunctional devices, and non-working smartboards and smartboard projectors. The audit also revealed a total of 28 workstations that need replacement. The IT team will now go back to these schools over the next 2 weeks and remediate problems found.
The minister's remarks then focused on the progress of the ministry's 5-year strategic plan for the public education system.
There are specific strategies within Plan 2022 that underscore the importance of ensuring parents are well informed and connected to their schools. To execute these strategies, the Commissioner of Education met with the Parental Involvement Committee, or PIC, on January 24th, where members were updated on Plan 2022. Members were also given a presentation on standard-based grading and consulted about potential changes to the Education Act.
The third area of updates covered union activity. In late January, the minister held his regular quarterly meeting with the powerful Bermuda Union of Teachers, the BUT. Minister Rebane described the meeting as healthy and productive, with discussions focusing on greater collaboration. Another area of focus are Ministry of Education school websites.
There's an initiative in place that will transform the current digital platform of our ministry website. A second tier of this initiative will deal with individual school websites. Each school website will have a designated owner, and all owners will use the same process and procedures for updating the site content.
And that's all from us this evening. We hope you've been well informed. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.